The complex sentence. Review. In the previous unit, we learned about compound sentences. A compound sentence is two simple sentences joined by a coordinating conjunction. In this unit, we're going to learn about the complex sentence. The complex sentence is like a mother with one or more children. Unlike the compound sentence where two equal sentences are joined together, here one part of the sentence is more important than the other. Often these sentences are joined together using a subordinating conjunction. Let's look at an example of a complex sentence. After the clouds passed, the sun appeared. What are the elements that make this complex sentence? The subordinating conjunction after, the dependent clause after the clouds passed, and the independent clause, the sun appeared. The most important part in this sentence is the sun appeared. The sun appeared is like a simple sentence. It can stand on its own. But what is a clause? A clause is a group of words with a subject and a verb. Dependent clauses, for example, because it was cold, while he waited at the train station, after they left on the bus, are like children. They cannot stand alone by themselves. They need another sentence to complete their meaning. They start with a subordinating conjunction. If we use them alone, they become sentence fragments. Independent clauses like Susan decided to wear a sweater, Joe realized that the train was late, Anne and Jane realized they didn't have their bags, are like grown-ups. They are able to stand alone to convey meaning. They are simple sentences. So how do we build a complex sentence? I need an independent clause, which is the most important part of the sentence. I need a dependent clause, and I need a subordinating conjunction. Let's take a look at a complex sentence with dependent clause at the beginning. Because it was cold, Susan decided to wear a sweater. The subordinating conjunction is because it was cold is the dependent clause, and the independent clause is Susan decided to wear a sweater. Now let's take a look at punctuation. When the dependent clause comes first, a comma should be used to separate the two clauses. Now let's see a complex sentence where the independent clause comes at the beginning. Susan decided to wear a sweater because it was cold. In this case, when the independent clause comes first, a comma should not be used to separate the two clauses. Both complex sentences mean the same, but the first one is considered to be more formal, and the second one is considered to be more colloquial. Subordinating conjunctions. Subordinating conjunctions help us combine clauses to make a complex sentence. They are similar to the coordinating conjunctions we use for compound sentences. But there is a very important difference. When you use a coordinating conjunction, the two sentences are equally important. You must study or you will fail. This is an example of a compound sentence. Both parts of the compound sentence weigh the same. When you use a subordinating conjunction, the clause that begins with a subordinating conjunction is called a subordinate. It is less important than the other clause. It weighs less. In summary, complex sentences are formed by combining an independent clause with one or more dependent clauses. The clause that begins with a subordinating conjunction is called dependent clause and cannot stand alone as a sentence. An independent clause can stand alone as a sentence. When the dependent clause comes first, we use a comma to separate the two clauses. This is the end of the explanation. Please continue to the next section for practice.